You don't need to be rich. You just need to be creative. Here's what I mean by that.
Sometimes creativity can look like this. Right now, my biceps are working, my chest, my shoulders, and my legs are, and all I wanted was a squat. But because maybe I don't have the energy to afford gym equipment, my squats look like that. Or maybe they look like this, something as simple as that, allowing you to get depth. Creativity never has to mean being an exact copy of what it is you're trying to emulate. It could be something as simple as finding a different solution to an overall goal, and it just so happened to work out other things as well.
A great example of this playing out is whenever you see companies burn tons of cash on influencer marketing instead of creating their own brand image, using money to rely on others' images to boost their own.
What you end up losing whenever you just use money to solve your problems, or whenever you just want the straight answer and going straight through in order to solve a problem, just to bulldoze everything, is that you end up missing a lot of the benefits that you gain when you have to sit down and you're forced to learn something. Like right now, my depth would not be this good if I didn't work at Family Dollar. All day, I'm doing this motion, all day. And so now I have really good squat depth and I have really strong legs. But if I were rich, maybe I'm using a bar, and sometimes you just can't get that low. Sometimes you don't work out the same muscles. You get your back working, you get your biceps, triceps, and shoulder working, all because you were like, you know what, maybe I don't need to pay 25 bucks a month. I have a bag of salt. I can squat that in my yard. This is what creativity looks like when you do not let money stop you from doing things. So, in an effort to live by that, I've realized a few things.
Everything that I need in order to become a great racing driver, perhaps even the best that has ever lived, is within 5 miles away from me. A Planet Fitness to make sure my body is right. A plethora of tennis courts to make sure that my reaction time and hand-eye coordination is right. And a racing simulator in my room, making sure that my track knowledge and racecraft is right. And out of all 3 of these things, the racing simulator is the most expensive, but I was able to build it for under $2,000. That may sound unachievable to some, and in fact I put in many 14-hour shifts just trying to buy everything, but once you pay for it, that's the final investment. Everything else costs under $50 total. I wanted to be creative about how I approached improving my hand-eye coordination, so I decided to do a 30-day challenge by using tennis as the vehicle to do it. And while filming a video, I was approached by a funny gentleman. It seems that when you get creative, life puts things in your way to help push you along.
I'm very new. I'm very new. I'm not sure I'm as good as you are.
You're very new?
Yeah.
I'm very old. Move further back so you give yourself more time. If you want to give me money, you can, or a new body. I might have played for college when I had a body, before WW1, the big one we call it. Don't worry about getting it on one bounce.
Okay.
2 or 3 bounces is fine. You just want to be smooth. You want to fully extend your body. I better grab the wall, and I'll help you.
Oh yeah, go ahead. And it's 62 minutes. All right, that was a good round. Yep.
Creativity doesn't just affect how you go about accomplishing a goal, it also affects how you see it to begin with. Take a look at this gym equipment. What do you see? Still haven't figured it out yet? How about when I do this?
Braking racing is, for me, arguably the most important thing when it comes to racing at all. And so I figured, why not come with an exercise that anybody can do without any equipment at all and just body weight. All right, so taking everything that I actually learned from using the leg press, any stair can be used. And if you're braking with your left foot here. And so the idea, essentially, your ball of your foot, kind of like in the middle of it, between the rest of your foot, your instep and the ball, sits right here. And all you do if you have rails or anything to balance on, just do this and then just do up and like that. And so obviously in the car, you're modulating that, but essentially you just want to hold it. And so it's usually explosive movements. And so you're almost going down, 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 and then exploding up. Let's say, for instance, you are getting pretty used to your own body weight here and you want to add some weight. So this is just used oil that I took from doing my oil changes, but I would say this adds at least an extra 10, 15 pounds. It's going to be a great way to kind of simulate increased brake forces depending on the car that you're in. And when you're doing this, just make sure to put it directly over the foot that you're working out on. Yeah, that's insane. No excuses.
My time at RPM Rush ended up reigniting this sort of desire, this burning passion to start sim racing again. A decision made very easily, seeing as I already had my own pre-built sim rig just sitting in my basement. However, at the beginning it wasn't as easy. During 2020, when all of the world was sitting at home, I decided to embark on the mission of actually building my very first sim rig. Now, at the time, a lot of sim racing was incredibly overpriced and as easy to get into as it is now, especially for the price. So, with that in mind, I decided, you know what? Let me be creative and try to build one myself. And really, a lot of my research came from taking screenshots from Instagram, looking at other people's sim rigs, and then using a CAD software to try to engineer one for myself. And what you see here today is something that is infinitely more customizable than what other people are selling for, I would say, an inflated price. But it really took having the guts, and in this case, having a budget, to where I learned how to use AutoCAD. I learned about 80/20 and what goes into making something that's adjustable, and most importantly, something you can build upon. So I plan on having this for the rest of my life, or the foreseeable future, whichever comes first.
Well, the room is in shambles still from this big move, but if you enjoyed this video and you'd like to see more like it, how about trying one right here? But while you do that, I am going to get to organizing this room because this thing is big and I'm still not done yet.